Right, okay, guys. Here we go again. It's two classes again today, so both mine and Miss Jovic's class are going to be working on this, which is great. And we're looking at set notation here. Now, this is a topic that notoriously students find tricky. You just need to know what all the sort of terminology means. So it's going to be a little bit of note taking today, unfortunately. You do need to copy this Venn diagram out, please, because all the notes we use are going to refer to this Venn diagram. And then I'm going to set you a Hegarty task on this just so you can practice. Okay, so set notation. Now, this thing here, this epsilon, this just means the total set. And a set really is just, it fails me. So a set is basically just a group of numbers or items, and that epsilon just means the total set. So every item that's in this group or set just means a group of numbers, or you could have anything in a set. Really. Now you might be asked to do this. List the elements. Elements are individual items in a set. List the elements in set A. Okay, that could be the question. Now that's an easy one. List the elements in set A. Well, everything in A, you've got an item 4, you've got 10, you've got 1, 2, and 5, and that's how you'd answer that question. Okay. Now list the elements in A dash. Well, A dash is all of the elements outside of A. So dash means everything outside of A. So if we just make sure we don't miss any, 3, 7, 6, 8. 9, okay? Right, there's some other things you need to know. We're going to get slightly harder now. So list all the elements in A, N, B. It's not an N, it's like, it doesn't have a tail, it's like an upside down U. This means intersection, so this means A and B. So it's got to be in both A and B. And the items that are in A and B are, well, just these three. That's in A and B, that's where the overlap is. So it's going to be 1, 2, and 5. Okay. Right, okay, now if we go on to the next term, A union B, okay, so this is the one that confuses people. This means it's in A or B or both, but do not repeat values. Okay, so A union B, that's what that's called. It's in A or B or both. So in reality, it's in the whole of A. In A, it's in that section. It's in B, so there's anything in there, and it's in the both, so it's also in there. Okay, so but we don't repeat the values. So we just find the biggest. We go to the edge of that circle, and we draw. The edge of that circle is going to be anything in that big bubble. So the elements in A union B will be 4, 10, 1, 2, 5, 3, and 7. Okay? Let me just write that. So that's A union B. And they're the main ones you need to know, but you also need to know what the little n means. So we're not listing elements anymore. We're find NA. Now this, if you see where a little n, that means the number of elements in A. That's what that means. Now how many elements do you have in A? Well, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different elements, so 5. So the number of elements in A is 5. Let's have a go at the other one. So the number of elements, now that n is a small m, it's different to the n between the A and B there. So find A, N, A union B. So how many elements are in A union B? Well, that was number 4, wasn't it? So how many elements did we have in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 elements. So 7 elements in A union B. Let's do a slightly harder one. What about the number of elements in... Well, let's list list the elements in A intersection B dash. Okay, so number 7. So this means in A and outside B. Okay, that's the B dash. So what's in A but outside of B? We go back to our Venn diagram. In A but outside of B, it's going to be these two numbers there. So it's 4 and 10. Remember, there's no n in front of there, so I'm just listing the elements 4, 10. Whereas if it said find the n, a, n, b dash, so little n that time, be careful, that's a big N. That is a different style of n. That would be, okay, well, how many elements are in there? Well, we've just listed them above. There are 2 elements there. Okay. Let's do one final example before you can do some practice on this. List elements in A union B dash, okay, which is different to A intersection B dash. So this is in A or outside B or both. And union, you can contradict. Okay, you can contradict. So what I mean by this, so A, we start off with A. So what I'm going to do with my pen, I know it's going to be in the whole of A. So I'm going to include everything in A. Okay, so everything in A. In fact, I'm going to write those down before I forget. So we've got 4, 10. It's good practice to put them in alphabetical order. 4, 10, what else was in A? 1, 2, and 5. Okay, so I've done the A, done. Now I'd look at, okay, what's outside of B? So everything outside of B, so we've got this one's outside of B, so I need to include that, I need to include that, that's outside of B, I need to include that as well. Doesn't matter it's not in A, because union just means one or the other. Doesn't have to be satisfy both. So I need to include 6, 8, and 9 in my list. Okay, and there you go, that would be the A union B dash, and then the number A union B dash will be, well, how many elements in that term? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. So 8 would be the answer there. Okay. Right, that's all the notes for today. I do want you to do, there's only one Hegarty task. You must finish for homework. Please do write down you'll find it helpful if you write down the elements rather than trying to do it all in your head. Okay, so please don't just try and rush through it quickly. Write down the elements for each question first, and then you'll notice that most of them have an N in front, and it just wants you to work out how many elements are listed. Okay, and I do want you to finish that for homework. If you finish early, you can still crack on with the further maths work, please. I know there's a few of you still got some outstanding modules there. And I will see you again on Friday. I'll see you again on Friday. Okay, guys, thanks a lot.